Right guys, I don't know if you can hear the wind, probably can, but we've got 40-mile-an-hour gusts going this way, and I thought I'd bring the Air 3S out and
take off. Home point updated.
bring it in. Bring it in. So they're still following me, the pocket, but there we go. So we've got the Air 3S there, as you can hear. It's now behind me. It's a cool bit of kit. I'm absolutely loving using it. Now we've got 38 to 40-mile-an-hour gusts at the moment. Where we're stood right now is relatively sheltered, so it's not too bad. But if I take it out, not that you'll be able to see much on the camera, but it's sitting there quite happily. In fact, actually, it is quite windy out here, and it's got the swallows buzzing around, but just film it with my phone for a second just so you can see. But it's moving around very slightly. There we go, it's a bit of a gust. And it's just holding position amazingly well. I know these tests have been done, but there you go, look at that. It's being proper gusted around a bit. Quite a good test. It's been done before loads of times, we know that. We check, tests on things. I mean, Jesus Christ, the rain over there is mad. You can see it in the video. It's quite an impressive bit of kit. And the fact is that they hold their position so well compared to the competition. That is getting chopped around quite a bit, and it's hardly moving, which is bloody amazing, really. Really cool bit of kit. And the fact is you can trust it. And obviously the weather isn't amazing at the moment. As you can see the cloud in the distance there. All of that, you see that? It's trying to counteract itself there. Bloody hell. So, as you can see there, it's hovering away, and I'll post the phone video into it as well. But it's the confidence thing. So when I've got the Mini 4 Pro out there, obviously it's much lighter, and the problem is with the, in fact, am I recording? No, I'm not. There we go. I'll keep an eye on that storm over there. But the fact is, with the Mini 4 Pro in the wind, which I'm not going to bring out because it'll just get blown around all over the place, even though it will hold its ground quite well, you'll get footage which moves up and down because it's getting buffeted around, and it's trying to keep its position, but unfortunately, because it hasn't got enough weight, you'll notice it a lot more, the sort of up and down movement and side to side. So it really shows up in video, where at the moment, that is quite incredible. There's a little bit of swaying going on in the video, which is quite incredible. There we go, bloody hell, that's now getting shifted. Cool, that's definitely got high. And I don't really want to fly it too far just in case the inevitable happens and it does fly away. But I just wanted to sort of give it a bit of a confidence test, if anything. Let's do another video. But the fact is, it's just sitting there. If we go a little bit higher, it's still holding its ground well, but it's like I say, it's getting buffeted around a bit. But the footage itself, the clouds look incredible. In fact, look at that for moodiness. But the fact is, I know the Mavic 4 Pro is one hell of a bit of kit, but I think for the money, this definitely proves its value. I think I'm going to get wet shortly because there's a lot of rain coming from that direction. Well, I'm going to take it for a little fly down the field so I know where it is. What I don't want to do is lose it, because if it is that bad, gusty wise, it's just a precaution you don't really want to do. But I know the fact is I can fly it relatively safely and sensibly, in wind, and that's where you're sort of, the stress and sort of like anxiety kicks in, because you're like, shit, am I going to lose this because it's too windy? But the fact is, it's just sitting there, it hasn't moved, it's bobbing around a little bit, but I'm filming constantly at the moment, And there comes the rain. We should do a rain test as well while we're here. Yeah, here it comes. So we'll leave it up there, give it a little fly around. So yeah, here comes the rain, sadly. Right, so it's still sitting up there. It's now raining, but we'll take the drone down for a bit of a fly. The screen's getting wet. Yeah, it's definitely raining. But anyway, we'll take it down the field, and you can see here in the trees getting moved around, but we've got some serious weather coming now. You can see it over there. It's and up here as well we've got a big leap of horribleness, which is pretty much over me, which is great. Yeah, you can see the rain coming in now if I zoom in. Bit of moodiness coming. The fact is, I can't believe how stationary this is. We're sitting pretty much 4.5 meters down actually, because we're going downhill. So I've gone down 4.5 meters. So in fact, if we bring it back up to my level, it's absolutely fine. And it is raining, but I'm kind of hid behind a horse truck, which I'm stood next to, so I'm kind of sheltered, but the drone isn't. As you can see there, that weather is pretty mad, rather moody. Do we trust the braking system? Yes, we do. Still full throttle. That is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, I love it. It is such a good bit of kit, and it's been invaluable doing some footage recently with it, which is, I've been at a water sports lake, and they do sailing and kayaking and paddle boarding and stuff like that. So I've been out filming for them, doing stuff like that. So I'll put some of the footage in there. It was really cool, you know. But the problem is, yesterday it was like this, very, very gusty. So I didn't even take the drone with me. And to be fair, it did chuck it down with rain a lot. So, you know, even the A1 and everything got absolutely soaked. It was incredible to be able to capture some shots of the winging guys doing jumps and stuff, which you'll probably see if you look at my Instagram, there's a little reel there I chucked together for them. But the fact it holds its own so well, you know, it doesn't really care. The fact it's just sitting out there, which is quite cool. Yeah, definitely worthwhile investment, and for just over £1,000, it was absolute weapon. It's yeah, and I'm still in normal mode, by the way, so if we can go up a bit. It just sits up there, it's quite happy. So yeah, we'll give it a little bit of height. I'm up now at 34 meters. And it's sitting up there doing its thing, which is quite crazy. But you can see, if I zoom in, you can see the clouds and the rain actually heading this way. So, oh, strong wind warning, that's the first one. So yeah, we will bring it down, because I don't like risking £1,000 worth of kit sitting up there really too much. And you know, the last thing we want to do is lose it. But at the same time, it's obviously very capable, you know. So now this is where I was thinking, oh, here comes the sunshine. Crazy. For me, it's that sort of nervousness bit, you know, with the Mini 4 Pro, which is much lighter, much smaller, in wind sort of 20 mile an hour max, I would be flying it. I'll be okay with that. But now at least I know I can fly almost 38 with the gusts, and it's quite happy. So if I think 30 miles an hour, and obviously it can do 60 top speed, so obviously 30 into the wind roughly, maybe 20, 25. So when it's obviously heading into the wind, if it's heading away from the wind, you're going to be able to fly a lot quicker. So yeah, it's the confidence thing, isn't it? Trusting the kit, but also using a little bit of common sense and thinking, right, I'm not going to fly 120 meters up there in this wind because I just don't want to lose it, you know, even though it's quite happily sitting there. There's a lot of trees around here, so you know it gets vortexed around, and you know the wind changes and it does weird shit. We had a bonfire here the other day. You can probably see, if I move this way, you can see the bonfire thing. We were burning some hedge trimmings and stuff off the big hedge, and the wind started doing tornado stuff, and it blew one way 1 minute and then blew one way the next, and we were like, next minute it's going straight up, and you're like, what? You know, so yeah, it's definitely definitely bizarre, the English weather. So anyway, we yeah, so pleased with that. That was just a bit of a reassurance test for me, if anything. You know, it's just sitting there. I've gone up 35 meters, which, to be fair, most of the time, if I'm filming for work, I'm down this level anyway, because I'm filming, you know, lower stuff like cars, sailing boats, kayaks, stuff like that. So I'm only really maybe just above sail height, just one so I don't hit any boats. I do come down even lower, but depending on what I'm doing, if it's paddle boarders and stuff like that, I'll be going around them. But at the same time, it allows me, you know, yesterday I don't think I would have. I mean, it was raining, so it was heavy rain as well. There's no way I would have flown a drone in that. But a little shower we just had a little minute ago, it wasn't even noticed. And I've flown the Mini 4 Pro in quite a bit of rain, snow and everything like that, and because you've got so much airflow around the actual drone, you don't really get any water really anyway. So yeah, and a little bit of light rain is not really going to do any damage. It's a bit like using a camera out there. You know, I'm using obviously the A1 and the 200-600, which have got rubber seals and bits and bobs, but you wouldn't drop it in a pond. You know, you quite happily use it in quite heavy rain, no real drama. But you know, I wouldn't lay it in a puddle or anything like that generally. We'll try not to anyway. There we go. There we go. So Air 3S, if you want the best drone that's available for less than you think, it's an absolute weapon for what I need. You know, 24 to 70, and you've actually got 9 times zoom as well using cropping, which is actually quite usable, I find. But it's definitely a cool bit of kit. I might go grab the camera because the swallows are still cruising around. See them? I don't know if you can see that in shot. Don't come near the drone. But they're not bothered. Swallows seem to have this, they're humans, they're not care. I can stand there and they'll fly within 2 feet of me to get a bug. We're not a threat to them. Even the drone is not a threat to them at all. They don't see it as a threat. Get a seagull or something like that, they see it as a threat. But swallows, either they're very intelligent or just very stupid. There's one coming past. He's clever enough to stay away from here. Let's land this. There's another one. Let's take it over there and land it on the ground. Land it out of the way. Oh, sideways sensors do work because it's allowed me not to hit my car. There we go. So the swallows, they are literally, I'll go and get a camera there, and they won't bloody do anything. Let's buzz it up. There you go, flying around. But they're amazing little birds, and they'll be gone soon because obviously they'll start to go. But they're still going into the nest. They've got 3 stables, all unused, and they are flying around, catching food, and they're amazing. There's about 6 or 8 of them in total. There you go, another one. And they buzz around and they go nice and low at this time of day. And as you get into the evening, where late in the afternoon, the bugs fly. We've got this bit of ground here, and I've actually put, I don't know if you can see it, a post, hopefully to attract things like owls and things like that. But at the moment, I don't know if anything's about. There was a little bird sitting on it this morning, so that's another thing for bird wildlife and things like that. Hopefully, that's going to stay a bit of a rough ground. So I might put a couple of bird feeders and stuff up there as well, just for the winter and stuff like that. They can come and go, because they nest in the hedgerow over there. There's a hedge down the bottom, not right down the bottom, but about halfway down the fence line. There's a big bush that the sparrows and everything like to go into. They seem safe. So, and they do come up here. So I think I'm going to get some food. I might get some this afternoon actually. Pop down the road. Buzzards out. But yeah, so that's a few ideas at the moment. So wildlife photography with a bit of bird feeders and stuff like that. Hopefully they'll land on things. I might find a branch or something that they can go. I can hear the buzzard. Where is he? Well, we've got some really, really big moody clouds going on at the moment as well. So but that's the experiment with the drone, just to give me some reassurance of flying it in high winds. But I don't want to go out and go, oh, I don't know if I really want to, I don't want to risk it. You know, gusts of 38, but it's around about 20 normally. You know, and drones are crazy. When I got a friend of mine, she's a birds of prey specialist, and she said that I think I might be wrong, but I think barn owls can only fly in sort of 12, 13, 14 miles an hour, something like that. That's why you never really see them unless it's a really calm morning or evening. But you know, even the Mini 4 Pro that only weighs as much as a block of butter can sort of deal with 25 mile an hour winds. I know it's completely different because one's nature and one's electronic, but at the same time it's incredible, isn't it, how birds, but the buzzards are just cruising up. There's two of them at the moment, so I think I'm going to go and grab the other camera. I'll be back with a second video, see if we get any wildlife, but I might try and get these swallows if I can. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit of a long one. It was 15 minutes long apparently, and yeah, bit of flying, but don't be scared of your equipment. Just use your bit of common sense, because you know this wind is strong enough to, you know, if it gets really gnarly, you know, you could lose your drone into a tree or something like that. I personally wouldn't risk my Mini 4 Pro out in this. But I just wanted to kind of see what the Air 3S was really capable of. So now I know 30 mile an hour is doable. And you know, it's more the gusts, if anything. You know, if you get a steady wind, it's not so bad to manage, but when you get like a sudden 10, 15 mile an hour difference in the gust, it can be a real game changer on the way thing flies. I just need the sunshine to keep coming, because these big clouds are annoying. But never mind. Right, go and grab the other camera out. I shall see you guys shortly for another video.